The Haunting of Hollowridge House. The Johnson family thought they had struck gold when they purchased the charming colonial-style home nestled in a quiet corner of Frederick, Maryland. The price was surprisingly low, but they didn't question it. For Sam and Lisa, it was a dream come true, a fresh start for them and their two kids, Emma and Ryan. The first few days were filled with the usual chaos of unpacking, yet from the moment they moved in, things felt off. The air inside the house seemed colder than outside, no matter how high they turned up the heat. The windows rattled, even on windless nights, and the family dog, Max, refused to enter the basement. He'd growl low and deep whenever the door was opened, his hackles raised. The shadows began. Emma was the first to notice the strange occurrences. One evening, while brushing her teeth, she saw something in the mirror, a tall, shadowy figure standing behind her. When she whipped around, there was nothing there. She laughed nervously, convincing herself it was just her imagination. But later that night, she woke to the sound of whispers in her room, soft and unintelligible, like a distant conversation she couldn't quite make out. Her bedroom door, which she always left closed, was wide open. Ryan, only 8, began having nightmares almost immediately. He'd wake up screaming about the man in the corner, who watched him as he slept. When his parents checked, there was never anyone there. Yet Ryan insisted, trembling, that the man had black, hollow eyes. The basement. Sam decided to investigate the basement after Max refused to go near it for the 3rd day in a row. The space was unfinished, with concrete floors and walls that seemed to absorb light. As Sam descended the stairs, the air grew colder. A faint smell of decay hit him, and he instinctively covered his nose. In the far corner of the basement, he noticed something odd, a trapdoor partially hidden beneath a pile of old rotting wood. With some effort, he pulled the debris aside and opened the door, revealing a narrow tunnel leading into darkness. A sudden, piercing scream echoed from upstairs, and Sam bolted back up, his heart pounding. Lisa was in the kitchen, clutching her chest. The cabinets had all flown open at once, their contents strewn across the floor. The faucet turned on by itself, spewing murky, foul-smelling water. Emma and Ryan stood frozen in the doorway, their faces pale. The truth unveiled the desperate for answers. Lisa dug into the house's history. What she found chilled her to the bone. The house had been built on land that once belonged to the Hollowridge Asylum, a psychiatric hospital infamous for its inhumane treatment of patients. The asylum burned down in the 1940s, killing dozens of patients who were trapped inside. The property had been vacant for years until the house was built. Lisa contacted a local historian who warned her about the land. "There's a reason no one stayed in that house for long," he said. "The spirits of the asylum's dead are restless. They're angry." The final night, the activity escalated quickly. Doors slammed shut on their own. Lights flickered incessantly. Dark figures moved through the halls at night. The whispers grew louder, more insistent. "Get out," they seemed to say. One night, the family decided to sleep in the living room together. As they huddled under blankets, the temperature plummeted. The lights went out, leaving them in pitch darkness. Then a guttural growl echoed through the room. A figure emerged from the shadows. It was tall and gaunt, its face a horrifying mask of charred flesh and hollow eyes. It moved toward them slowly, its skeletal hand outstretched. Ryan screamed as the figure whispered, "This is my home." The family fled the house that night, leaving all their belongings behind. They never returned. Epilogue. Months later, the house was listed for sale again. The real estate agent made no mention of its haunted history. A new family moved in, eager for their fresh start, and the shadows waited.